myself. I don't want to be a hero. It's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone. Jew, Gentile, black man, white man. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. This world is real.
When you were doing those medevacs were coming in, wasn't there an instance where somebody's head was taken off by one of those, something flying off of the helicopter? Or was my thinking of something else? Okay, we'll talk about that later then. Okay. Dick, let's talk about your first time in combat. You weren't there long, but do you remember your first engagement and the first time you were in combat?
Well, after we quit, after Guadango and I thought I'd be with him. After we quit LERP school, he ended up going somewhere else and I never saw. But that was we were there about 3, maybe 4 weeks in LERP school before we went and joined. And I got back. I was at Ross actually, and that night they sent me to the field. It was funny because here I was at Ross, got put on a chopper, taken out to meet up with these guys. That first night, we're standing there was a chow line, people getting fed because Cav had aircraft, and we used to get hot meals occasionally in the field. And the very first night, a guy about 4 people away up in front of me got shot in the head by a sniper in the chow line. So that night we got a lot of H&I fire, harassment, interdiction fire they call, and all night. And a grenade or something went off in front of me and broke my glasses. So then I had to put my sunglasses on. So we leave it literally old dark 30 and I can't see a thing because it's black and I got sunglasses on. My first night, I had prepared to feed a village of Vietnamese for 20 years with the food and stuff I brought. And I'm humping this thing, dying. I'm walking with my hand on this guy's shoulder in front of me. And he steps off a dike into a rice paddy. I didn't see it. I step into the air, fall over, land on it in the back, filled up all this sand and stuff, got up, put it back on, and we leave from there and went back to Ross. I thought they could have just left me overnight, right? But then I had joined the company, and the first shooting stuff was sporadic. Occasionally, we'd take sniper stuff all the time. We'd hump a valley, climb to the top of a mountain every night. Next morning, same, across the valley on the top. And I think on the first air assault, it had to be the first one, we'd come in, and an air assault is pretty impressive because it's loud, noisy. You're watching the wood line and the banana trees and stuff fold up in front of you. We come in and you're off the ground, you're loaded up, and you're standing on the skid and they're telling you jump, and you're 6, 8 feet off the ground, maybe further, and moving, and you got to unhast the bird. Jumped down, got out, got stuck, got out. We go back, fight the village, but we didn't find any active NVA. We ended up shooting a kid who turned out to be a young kid hiding. He was just hiding, not shooting at us or anything. And we then pushed on from there. We ran into pretty significant, pretty often, what I'll call skirmishes that could last 10, 20 minutes or a couple hours, just depended on where you were and when you were. As I said, we were then pushed up, and it was getting to be Christmas time. And I don't know if we shot those guys up or not, but then we went back and they were all buried, or they were all kind of in that field when they got the intel on Leslie.
Right.
Somebody else shoot them, or do we shoot them?
No, somebody else shot them.
So we're going through the village, and there was through the bush, and there was a really horrific smell coming. Get off the trail, we're walking in, and walking across a blanket of, looked like cockroaches that were like crunching poppers under your feet, bubble wrap. And there were about 6 guys buried. One guy was arms out of the grave. He was pretty well eaten up. But we captured intel battle plans that talked about, we got sent on to Army intelligence and stuff, and the battle plans dictated an assault that they were going to make on New Year's Eve. And we felt it was our New Year's Eve. We weren't smart enough to think it was their New Year's Eve, so it was just preset. We get pulled in, and there was a lot of other, stuff. No major battles, I don't think, until Leslie, I would say. And then we got brought in, because our company was fairly decimated.
Yeah, from all the little skirmishes that we had, the company was down to maybe 7,500 people max at that time. So we got all broken up into platoon. Now our platoon at Leslie had maybe 21 people. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
It was really small. And all the rest of the company got all broken up into
They got loaned out also.
all over.
So we got put on Leslie, and we were on Leslie in preparation for this attack that was supposed to happen on New Year's Eve. And so we were there. We had to be there 3 weeks, maybe even 4 weeks.
Yeah, we got there probably after the 15th or around 15th of December.
Could have been, yes.
And the first notification we got was Christmas Eve, and then the intel came about New Year's Eve.
So we were preparing for this attack, and we thought we were doing it. We blew back the wood line and patty stuff about a click, and we had 3 rows of triple strand concertina that we had strung around the entire perimeter, filled with trip flares, trip grenades, and everything else. And Christmas Eve comes and goes, and we knew then it wasn't Christmas. And then New Year's Eve, we were very ready. Everybody was awake, H&I fire all night, random noise and shooting into the air, no air outside, just killing everything, shooting it ever you could. We spent a lot of time prior to that humping villages and going on, burning shacks, burning supplies and all that. But we were now on Leslie, and New Year's Eve comes and goes. And we were like, wow, New Year's Eve, we made it. It was wrong, And everybody was pretty ecstatic, I would say.
Yeah.
That we had been there, and basically, nothing happened. Occasional sniper round.
Nothing happened Christmas, nothing happened New Year's.
And
so we thought the intel was wrong, or they discovered that we knew about it, and
we thought we were
wasn't
strong.
going to happen.
We figured even though we were out in the middle of nowhere, a small LZ. We had 2 105s, I think. We had mortar platoon. Quad 50. We were pretty well set, we thought.
Yeah, we were attached to D Company, and we had the 105 had a few pieces. Plus, there was an engineer company that was helping string all the wire, and they controlled the Quad 50. And Dick remembers Quad 50 being on a track, so it was movable. And like Dick said, we thought that we were prepared. We had set our claymores up and booby traps, and I used to collect punji stakes. One got into my hand at one point during the fight, but we set the punji stakes out just like the Vietnamese would do to us, so it would help prevent anybody sneaking up. And people used to laugh at me for carrying all that stuff, but I put it out in front of our 2 positions. They never made it up our position,
So it was now after New Year's. Barry and I were in the same hooch. When we got there, we'd set up a perimeter. I'd say we were 25 yards apart. The bunkers, our foxholes and stuff.
25, yeah, probably
in that realm.
There were Leslie was 2 little hilltops It was Hill 138 with a rock saddle in between. Where the rock saddle and I guess it would be the north or the south west perimeter was all D Company. And then Dick and I were on the south bunker with our platoon, where we had 2 bunkers. We had the Ron bunker and the other bunker, and then our bunker. And our bunker was just on the slope going down into the saddle. So we had a blind spot, and Dick was in the outside bunker, the outside foxhole, protecting our rear because it was a blind spot.
So when we were setting up, I was trying to dig a foxhole, but I got down a foot and it was solid rock. So the best thing we could do was bag. We bagged it in, sandbagged the whole thing in, maybe 3 or 4 bags high, and maybe even 5, I don't know. But there was another guy that was supposed to be in that position with me. And then, like I said, we were, laughing and joking. Then I was on guard duty, Barry was on guard duty on the other side. Barry was in the bunker up at top, and I was in the foxhole, which would have been, I don't know.
If you're looking east, he would have been south of, just to the right of us in the bunker.
Yeah.
And we were on the east north side facing the valley. There was a valley in front of us.
Right.
On the west side, it was hilltop. The mountains were there, so D Company had cleared out as much as they could, but it was still pretty close.